Hey everyone, welcome to another Saturday, and yes, it's awesome to have you all here. The early show, well, not so much early show anymore, it's kind of more like just part of the show that we do where we sort of muck around with synths. If you are new here, big welcome to you. Grab yourself a brew, a drink, a beer, whatever you want to grab. Sit back for a couple of hours. We've got quite a bit to get through today. And a big warm welcome to you from any part of the world. I know it's nighttime where I am. It could be morning where you are. It could be really late at night or early in the morning where you are. Or it could be in the middle of the day. So let us know in chat where you're from. Say hello. If you are new here, make sure you do jump into the chat. We like to welcome our noobs as new people, as part of the family. So do that. And while we're doing that, I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about what's happening today in the show. We've got quite a bit happening. We're going to talk, of course, about NAMM. NAMM's happening over in Anaheim in California at the moment. And wow, has there been some interesting things coming out from NAMM. So we'll be checking that out, that's for sure. We're also going to have a little noodle, like a noodle. If you don't know what that means, it's me. We're just going to muck around with some gear here. Not really sure what I want to do yet. There is something that I have that's new that I want to show you. So we'll check that out and we'll kind of integrate that in the noodle, I think. So maybe that might be sort of a way to go. And also I kind of want to check out, there's some shows on TV at the moment and there's some really cool synths happening in these shows. And I kind of really want to just get stuck into what they are about and how we can enjoy making those sounds and recreating those sounds. And also some of these shows are bringing back old music from the 70s and the 80s and the 90s, and they're re-emerging as greats, and I kind of want to celebrate that as well. So we'll probably check out a bit of that. Don't forget also we have our regular segments. We have video guests who sort of jump on in probably in about 45 minutes or so from now. Regular segments, if you're wondering what they are, we do a bit of news. We talk about new products that are coming out. We talk about some stuff that happens on eBay and Reverb in our Price Watch segment. And we also have a Name That Synth section where you get to see if you can guess what synth is playing, and if you are the first to guess it, there is a prize that's worth money, and it's definitely worth having a go. So that will be in the second hour, so do sit back and enjoy it. Now, let's have a quick say hello to all the chatties. There's no video guests just yet. They will come hopefully a bit later on. But let's say hello to the chatties. Hooray! Hooray for the chatties. So I think Martin Taylor might have been first. Big hello to Martin for getting in there early. Keith in Watford's one of our channel members. Hello to you. Eddie's there. Eddie was on last week. And big hello to you. Future World Machines, another one of our channel members. Big hello to you, mate. We also have, who else did I see? Azzy, I heard Bert's nice and early today. Steve Powell, good stuff, Steve. Good to see you. Wagood's nice and early. All right, gang, he says. And we've got Path Lake. Hi, all from Path Lake. Now, Path Lake, I do apologise if you have been here before. I don't remember. But if you are new, let us know where you're from. Who else we got? Cresshead's there. Big hello to Cresshead. Apis Lapis. We also have Jim. Jim Glue's there. Big hello to Jim. Jim's been on the show before, as you guys might remember. Have to get Jim back on soon. Been a little while since he's been on. He's been poking his head out in a couple of other shows. Who else have we got? John Simpson. Hello, John. JP Page 2. Big hello to you. And why does it scroll when I'm doing that? Anyway, I think I've missed a few. Kent Spong, good to see you, Kent. Kent's another one of our channel members. And also, we all know Kent, so big hello to you, mate. George Kempson's there. Who else? I think just poking at the last second was a few of those. Good. All right. It's early, so only a few people. People are starting to sort of join now. So we'll start to get stuck into that. Right, now, I'm going to try and see if I can get this camera to work. I've got a message that says SD card full. I don't know why. Anyway, it won't let me get past that error message. So maybe we'll have to choose something different. Why don't we set up the magic camera now? Just give me a sec. I've got to enable PTZ, connect, go, and let's screw. Whoa, it's like dizzy. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, what's going on? PTZ's gone crazy. What's happening to PTZ? Disconnect. Wow, that's weird. Okay. Something really weird is happening with my PTZ camera right now. I might have to restart that, I think. Something weird. It's moving on its own. Right, let's turn it off. And turn it back on again. That was strange. Okay, give me a second, we'll sort that out. Disconnect. And hopefully I haven't killed it. Oh, I would hate it if I killed it because I need that camera. Please come back on. Here we go, it's making a funny noise, so maybe this is good sound. No, okay, now, give me a second, connect that. There we go. All right, let's go across to there. Okay, cool. Now, what I wanted to do, God, I had my heart in my throat for a second, then I thought I'd broken my camera. I want to show you guys the new thing that I got. first before we do anything. So let's zoom in, go up a bit, zoom in a bit more, go up a bit. Yes, it is a Eurorack module. Sorry for those people who don't do Eurorack. And we'll just go right a bit to get it in the middle-ish of the screen. So if you're wondering what it is, it's this module just a little bit over to my left. It's called Punk by Feedback Modules. Now, Feedback Modules did send this to me, so full disclosure, I didn't buy this one. Most things I will tell you whether I buy them or if they've been sent to me. I don't often get stuff sent to me. So now he didn't give me any, there wasn't any sort of requirement for me to do anything about this, but I did actually talk about this module a while ago. And what I thought I'd do is just quickly tell you guys a little bit about it, because I find it interesting. This sort of stuff is really nerdy for me, and I'm guessing you guys like this sort of stuff. Anyway, basically what you've got here is you've got, it's a blend of two circuits, clean sound of, you've got a blend of clean sound and two types of distortion, so two circuits of distortion. And you can see the two gain knobs up the top, 1 and 2. One is a FET preamp based on a classic circuit of a mini portable cassette recorder. We know what that is. And the other is a mixer combo from the 80s. It has variable gain and level control. And the other cool thing about it is the circuit is based on a, there is another circuit based on a classic guitar pedal distortion fuzz with switchable diode or MOSFET distortion. You can see there's a switch above the, or just next to that sort of weird looking symbol, and it's got diode and FET on it. So that MOS is short for MOSFET. Now this circuit also has a variable gain and a level control. The two distortion circuits are followed by a Baxandall 2-band equalizer, which is the one from the pre-KM module that he also makes, and that will shape your distorted sounds to your pleasure. And then finally, you actually have a mangled double distorted or clipped equalized sound, which is blended with the clean sound to get that balance again. So let's just sort of go over it real briefly. Just get rid of me, I don't need me there anymore. So this is the blend that they were talking about there. And so basically you sort of, there's your immediate input and there's your output. So then you've got your two sort of distortions, and then you got your diode. You've also got your equalizer here, your low and your high. So we can play around with that. Now, at the moment, I've got kind of a sequence going through it, and I kind of want to show you what you can do with envelopes and distorted sounds, and it can kind of give you guys some weird results. So let's see if we can play with that first. Here we go. Right, so we could turn this louder in a sec. So let's just get this sound happening. So what we've got is, you can see the 2600 VCO just to the right of it. That is going into two different sound. One's the neat sound of the pulse going in straight into a filter, which is the System 100M filter. And then you've got the Rachel ring mod blending with that. And you've got a bit of noise as well coming out of the static module. Okay, let's see if we can muck around a little bit with envelopes and try and get that sound a bit different. And let's get some more distortion happening. Got some other sounds coming in now. Just going to see if we can get this envelope sound a bit better. All right, let's pause it for a sec. Right, so that is kind of like a sequence sound going through it. Let's have a quick look at what you guys are saying. Let's turn a bit of hissy sounds off. So basically, the whole point of this punk module is to really just grunge up your sound and just really mess it up. And you can hear that once you've got some sort of filter or even a ring, anything that's kind of got sort of harmonics in it, the distortion really just grabs onto those harmonics and just really plays with it. So I find that kind of interesting. What we could probably do is we could probably put the, what do you guys think? We should probably put the poly synth through it. It's not really poly synth, it's a poly Euro rack. Let's zoom out and go down. Let's put that through it. Why don't we put that through it there? Okay, now the only problem is I'm probably going to get in the way of the camera if I do this, so let me see if I can go on the other side of the camera. Okay, so I need to do a little bit of repatching here. So the output, we'll take that out. Just let that flap around in the breeze for a sec. And the output of this, we'll put that up. Will that reach? No, it won't. Okay. What's flapping around in the breeze? This is, okay, so we'll take that cable. So it's going to be a myriad of mess of cables for a second, because I'm not really in the mood for neatening things up today. And we'll come out of the filter here. All right, let's see what happens now. All right, let's see if we can grunge this thing up a bit. Are we peaking or anything? No, we're good. Let's go up a few octaves so we can get some high sounds happening. Yeah, it's really distorting now, so that's what we want. All right, so with the filter here, we'll try and sort of get this thing to squeal a bit. Yeah, it's exactly what I wanted. So we want that. I know your ears are going ouch, but you back it off a bit and everything, so that's not too bad. So we can do that lower. You might not want it to whistle so much, so you can just back it off a little bit. So there you go, poly through the punk. Oh, it's pretty insane, that thing. What do you guys think of that? It's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of, it's a bit, 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 Whereabouts are you guys? It's kind of paraphonic, what I just did. So it is paraphonic, but it is polyphonic. So I did have 4 VCAs, 4 VCOs, 4 VCFs, but then paraphonically merged into one filter. I'm going to have to turn that off, otherwise we're going to hear it whistle all day. Where do we get rid of that? There we go. And then you've got that punk module. So yeah. I liked it. It's look, I've only had this for about 24 hours. But what I think we're going to need to do with this is play with it a bit more. So, like for example, let's go back up here and zoom in again. Let's just see what I just did to it just then to get it to sound really grungy. So I've got gain 2 almost maxed out, and I've backed off gain 1. So, and the level of gain of the second circuit was kind of a little backed off as well. Quite a lot of boost on low and high. And then the blend is almost full. We actually didn't play with the blend at all. Apis is saying, sounds excellent for 85 euros. Yeah, 85 euros. I mean, gosh. And I think he's got a deal on at the moment. I don't know if I saw this right. It might have been on his Instagram that he's throwing in a free LFO module if you buy something. I think, let me just go and check out his website. The promo has, just as I mentioned it, he's just got a note on there. The promo for the free LFOs just ended. Don't matter. Look, I mean, it's not as if he's selling the stuff expensive anyway. So, yeah. What I was going to do is just play with that blend just quickly because I kind of felt like I didn't touch the blend. So let's just back the blend off, see what that does. And then we turned it off, didn't we? We're going into 3. Sorry, my going in front of the camera here. Yeah, so the blend is this knob here where my thumb is, and I'm just going to move it to the right. So you can tame it, I think, with, that's about half blend there. Let's get a little bit of that whistle out with the resonance. The reason why I'm doing filter sweeps is because I'm trying to get the harmonics to pick up in those distortion circuits. And what you're finding is you're finding the 2 distortion circuits beating against each other. I don't know if you can hear it. It's I might be able to see if I can get you to hear it by just adjusting these 2 gains. Let's see if we can. We'll just play. I'll just latch that for a sec. So that is only 2 maxed out. So you see how I just backed that off? Just move the headphones out of the way. And I'll back 2 off, and then I'll max out 1. And then I'll put it onto FET. Oh, I love the latch button on that Create Audio nifty keys. It's awesome. Right. Yeah, so you can see the difference. There is nice harmonics in that one. What did they say the one was? The one was a portable cassette recorder. Yeah, the one is definitely a bit tamer. The 2 is a lot more crazy. So yeah. Right. So that's noodling around with that. So the other thing I wanted to noodle around with is we talked about briefly at the start of the show. We talked about the sound of some of these bits of music that are coming in at the moment in Netflix and Star Wars and all these different shows, and there's really great synthesizers coming through a lot of these shows, and I'm really enjoying it actually. It's kind of nice to see our part of the world really starting to become mainstream. It's not just the guitar, or it's not just, you know what I'm saying? So it's good that synths are ruling. Now, one of the shows that you guys, we've always talked about, because it's been a big synth show, and that's Stranger Things, right? Now, the season 4 that's come out has seen them re-release a fantastic track by Kate Bush. And that track is, as you guys know, she features the Fairlight synthesizer in that track. And I'm just going to grab, I'm not going to play the track because I'll get, what do you want to call it, copyright infringement on that. But just waiting for my network to play ball on me. Sorry, my network is just really going slow right now. Here we go. So the song, if you're wondering, is called Running Up That Hill. And people are messaging me. Now, Running Up That Hill, let me just check my messages, make sure it's nothing important. Okay, we've got an apology from Brooksy. He's not feeling well, so just get well, mate. Take it easy. So yeah, I'd rather you just have a break. So no Brooksy today. All right, that's fine. We can have a late in if you like. Anyone who wants to come in, jump in. Got two spare guest slots on the show. If you want to come in, let me know in the chat if that's what you'd like to do. Okay, let's get back to Kate Bush. So I did a bit of research on this sound. If you guys know that track, you'll know that the track has, she uses a Fairlight in it, and she uses a Fairlight in a lot of her tracks actually, so, you know, it's no surprise there, right? So let's go across to the Mac, and this is a bit of a mess. This is kind of like, this is my YouTube/stream setup, but I have to add a couple of tracks in. What I've done is I've just grabbed the Cello 2 sample. Eddie, you can jump in. So the Cello 2 sample, which is from one of the original Fairlight sound sets. Okay, sorry, I'm pausing while I'm talking because I'm getting people messaging me while I'm trying to do the show. It's okay. So yeah, pop in when you can, guys. Just message me if you want to jump in. Yep, all you have to do is jump in. Got the same details as last week. Okay, and anyone else who wants to jump in, just sing out and chat if you want to jump in, and I'll send you the information to jump in. If anyone wants to jump in, sing out and chat. It's not, all you need is a webcam and a mic. So most people have a mic built into that. Anyway, let's get back to Kate Bush. It is Cello 2, the sample that she used, and let's see if we can get this thing to work. Here we go. Tell me if you guys think that is what it is. Tell me if I've got it close. It's probably slightly changed with the filter, and I haven't touched the filter on this. All I've done is used a pitch envelope. You can see down the bottom here is a pitch envelope, and I've used portamento to get that sort of pitch, that pitch glide sort of sound. So yeah, pretty much spot on, says Steve Powell. It's a great sound, isn't it? And all it is a cello, and a lot of people think, wow, that is so synthy and all that sort of stuff, but really all it was actually a sample of a cello from way back in the 80s when they did the Fairlight stuff. Okay. So yeah, if you're wondering how to get those samples, the Fairlight samples, if you just literally Google Fairlight, like original Fairlight samples, you can download them as WAV files now because they've been put in things like iPad apps, and they're out there and are plenty. I do also have the Fairlight CMI V Arturia VST version. I tried to do this on that. I'm not really that well rehearsed with that app, so I couldn't actually work out how to get the pitch envelope to work on that properly, because the envelopes aren't the same in the Fairlight. So you have to kind of, we need Robbie Puricelli actually to tell us this, if he's probably busy though. But I'm not sure if it's an exact, you know, the sort of GUI is exactly the same as how the original Fairlight was set up. Obviously there is Portamento in the Fairlight, and I had that enabled, but it just wasn't playing ball. So I just did it in Sampler in Ableton, and I guess a lot of samplers would be able to do that for you. So yeah, if you do have, you know, a show that you've really enjoyed the synths in, just, you know, yeah, just chuck a bit of a Google search, and you know, if it's like an old 80s or a 70s song, 9 times out of 10, someone's written a blog article about it. And this one, there was heaps of stuff written in a whole bunch of different websites about how she used the Fairlight and all the sort of nerdy details of what she used and what samples she used in the Fairlight. And a lot of them were just factory samples, and all she did is just changed the samples a bit. Maybe she resampled, or maybe she is doing exactly what I'm doing, just using pitch envelopes or Portamento, Glissando, Glide, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, there you go. Now, chatties. Eddie's joined us, so we'll get him sorted out in a sec. Eddie, your audio, is that working? You can talk whenever you like.
1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1
Keep
2.
going.
I'm coming in.
Keep going. Come in. Keep coming in.
1 2. Is that good enough?
Yeah, maybe that'll do. Where am I compared to you? Talk again. Give me a sentence.
1 2. Hello, everybody in the network.
You can come up a tad, like maybe a decibel.
Good. Yeah, just give me a second.
Or it might be because you're too far from the mic. He's just put his headphones off. Okay, yeah. So no Andy, but we've got Eddie instead. Let me just get Eddie's title working, otherwise he'll be disappointed with me.
Hello, is this any better?
Yeah, that's better.
Cool.
Okay, I'll put your title in. Let's just see if that works.
Yeah,
Number
go for it.
3. Yay! Beautiful. Welcome. Thanks for coming in last second. Now, anyone else who wants to...
Thank you for having me.
Anyone else who wants to join us, you are more than welcome to. Let me just show you the GoPro error. I've got an SD card full error in there, but there's nothing wrong with the SD card. So, yeah, I think it's crashed.
Is there an SD card in there?
There is an SD card and it's empty, so don't worry about it. We won't play
just
with
kidding.
it. Yeah, we just won't worry about it. Okay, so we're going to have Darren there. We're going to have probably Eddie up down there.
Hey.
And
Now I'm the man from down under.
yeah.
Sorry. I love the song, by the way.
The Men at Work song.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, she just smiled and gave me a Vegemite sandwich.
The sandwich. Oh, yeah. Funny enough, I love Marmite. I haven't tried Vegemite.
All right, so we are good to go there. We've got one more spot left. If you would like to take, actually, I've got 2 more spots left. Darren has joined us. Hooray for Darren! Has Darren changed his settings in the umpteen weeks?
Most likely.
Has Darren changed his settings? Oh, I can hear myself.
And we can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
but we can hear ourselves.
And we can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Right.
That reminds me of a Yazoo song.
Tap your mic.
Is everything fine now?
Tap your mic. Yeah, you're good.
It's working.
You're good to go.
Ooh, oh. Good.
I wasn't, because it looked like I wasn't going to be coming on either, because everything just seems to be crashing for some reason.
Oh,
One of those. Yeah.
there we go. I want to play Kate Bush all day long now. So I just nerd out on the sounds. Oh dear. Everyone's going to be going at that Cello 2 waveform now, aren't they? Mucking around with it. Oh dear. Okay, so let me just get myself sorted. I didn't see if I couldn't see if anyone said they wanted to jump into the show. Honestly, if you've got a webcam and you've got a spare half an hour, jump in. It's not. No one's going to bite you. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what time of the day is where you are. If you're thinking about jumping in, you should.
I've not got my other. I've not got my other PC on, so to see people typing in is going to be a bit of a pain. See, this is what happens when you don't use it for a week. Everything just goes pear-shaped. I don't know what's happened, but things are not working very well on either computer, and I'm a bit worried that it's getting to the age of crashing and just blowing up. But I've got Rave Days albums saved, ready to get ready, and stuff like that. And I don't want it to do it before I've finished.
Well, let's hope it doesn't crash, because Rave Dave's album is more important than a computer crashing. Don't worry, it happens to the best of us. I mean, look,
me.
You guys saw my stream on Linux a couple of weeks ago. It was a train wreck, and I've been using Linux since the mid-90s. I just don't use GUI Linux, and I had all sorts of trouble with that. The other day I was updating my Mac, and it took something like 35 minutes to update, and I thought, uh-oh, here we go. When those updates take 35 minutes, you start to panic. You think, what hardware is failing on me? And anyway, so it happens to the best of us. Do not worry. But yeah, jump on if you want. Otherwise, we can just roll with the three of us. That's fine. But yeah, just let us know. Let us know in chat, or let us know in some other forms of messaging if you want. Now, what I was going to do is I was going to remind people about. No, that's not it.
Well, I was going to tell you.
Nice module.
Mention Andy, but he's already emailed your text, so I don't need to.
Yeah, Andy's told me. That's what I wanted. I wanted to remind everybody.
Module, but oh yeah.
That we do have a Discord server. Now, this is not an ad for you guys to go and buy something. This is literally a free service that we offer during the week if you like to keep chatting about synths and you can't get enough on Facebook, which I'm sure everyone would probably be scratching their head going, I don't think that's possible. Anyway, if you can't get enough, please jump onto Discord. We do have quite an active Discord group going now. Yeah, it's good. It's good. Lots of things happen in there. Lots of things. You can influence the show.
So, yeah, very, very nice module. I wonder, I just put in the chat, what would the guys plug in the Minimogs into the Marshall full stacks? What would you think about it? Because that's exactly what they did. It's like synths and distortion. They go even better together than guitar and distortion.
I remember talking about this when they first announced it, and I think Brooksy was saying something like they gave a few of these away or something for someone who spent a certain amount of dollars. So whoever got one of these for free, you're lucky, because it's actually a really, really cool module. I kind of like playing with distortion because it's almost like you have a wild animal. Do you know what I mean? And when you're trying to, we always kind of over distort, and then we try and tame it back. But we don't tame it back to the point where it doesn't distort anymore. We just tame it back just a hair, just so we can kind of sneak the original sound through somehow, and it's got some sort of musical remembrance in there.
The only problem is that you cannot control the overtones on the feedback.
Yes. That's the best part of it, though. Actually, the way the harmonics just all kind of... Why am I not saying harmonics properly? The way the harmonics slice in and out of all the, the feedbacking is the feedbacking. The feedback is actually really, really cool. Geez, I'm going to have to give up talking today.
I know it.
I'm going to give up talking today. Yeah.
Not again.
I have to admit, last week we were doing a show on why we love the ARP sound, and it became a show really more about talking about it, and we didn't really get a lot of showing and listening. And so what I will promise is we will do another like a second edition of that. And what I'm going to try and do is I'm actually going to try and get a real ARP in here, because I've discovered there's a few people in my city that have got them, and I'm just trying to sort of do some deals and wheels and deals with these people. So in the meantime, we'll hold off, but a couple of weeks' time maybe we'll do a part 2, and that part 2 will be a lot more audio. So for those who felt a little bit disappointed that we talked too much, remembering this is actually a talk show, so just putting that out there. It's not really so much like me demonstrating me being like Richard Clayderman and playing on the keys. You know what I mean? I'm not that person. So if you're here and you want that, see you later. Yeah, mate.
Andrew, sorry, Darren. Do you mean the other side?
Yeah, no, it's okay. I'm just something's in the background there. What you see?
Oh, what are you pointing at?
Can you see?
I can see a roll.
What, the pink? Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's for all those. It's for
something in a tube.
It's just a little. It's just a little Easter egg for people watching.
But we can't see what it is.
Anyway, carry on with the show.
It's just a tube. It could be a packet of Pringles, for God's sake.
Oh yeah.
No, you can. Is the camera not so brilliant? Well, anyway, it doesn't matter. It's only an Easter egg, so people will.
Because there's a big. What's the other Strymon? The big one, the big blue one, the Big Sky, not the Big Sky, the other one.
No, Big Sky. Oh God.
Yeah.
Big Sky and the TCL, the TC triple delay.
Okay.
Anyone guess
what? They can see.
Can anyone guess
3 delays, so you can either run them in series or parallel, which is quite cool. So you can get one delay running into the next delay into the next, or you can run them series or parallel. So, yeah, cool.
Is it MIDI synced?
That's awesome.
It can be, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So if anyone can guess what is in, we've had a couple of suggestions, and they might be a bit above PG. What it could be. If anyone can guess what is in his little tube up there, I suggested it might be a packet of Pringles.
Only because my eyes are bad.
Big no again.
Look, it's Rave Dave. He left him here last time we were working.
Yeah. Look, I don't think he's the sort that would eat Pringles. He'd be the sort that does other things.
Parma violets.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
I don't know the packaging. Oop, what?
A compressed air horn.
You're right.
Ooh.
A Mikado game.
Oh.
Rave Days.
This is better than What's the Synth.
It is.
Rave Days Scratch.
I hope you're not saying it's
Hey, he's done
right.
a calendar as well.
I hope you're saying it's not Addo Z's comment is correct.
No. Someone said, I can't. Yes, there we go. Someone's got it right.
God, how can you manage?
Right.
One computer, one tablet, one phone. What? Oh, no, too much for my brain. Not today. Not today, please.
Well, normally I have the PC on up here so I can see what people are typing, but I'm having to use the iPad because I didn't bother putting it on because this was all crashing.
I know.
We got a few people missing this week, actually. It's a little bit light on, which is weird. Maybe it's because
I'm back.
It could be that. I think it might be because there's a lot of NAMM stuff going on, and there might be a lot of YouTube activity happening this weekend, so I'm probably not as important. We will talk about some of the stuff at NAMM, though, so don't worry, we will get there. And you guys in chat are more than welcome to add any suggestions. Even though we've got most of the stuff pre-organised for the show, we can always we guys got room to add stuff. Okay, so before we go into the normal show, which is probably in about 14-15 minutes or so, let's keep noodling. Let's keep working on some stuff. So someone suggested to me before that they thought the interesting part of the Punk module was when you send those sharp envelopes into it. So remember how I was saying before, the filter and the resonance kind of, it just really creates that edgy sort of sound which the feedback picks up and that distorts. It does the same with those really sharp, attacky type envelope, sort of stabby sort of sounds with very fast attacks, percussive type of attacks. It really works well with it. And if you combine that with, like I chose a ring mod sound, I think that would probably work well. So why don't we go back to the other patch that I had before. Oops, why did I take that out? Am I getting in the way? Hey, I can play it, look.
Just watch your speakers.
Watch everyone's ears. I think it goes in there. Okay. Yeah, that was my rendition of name a techno song. Right. I want to get this Ableton playing, sorry. Okay, let's speed up this sequencer. That's almost 303 sounding now, isn't it? So I'm backing off the modulation. Right, now, so this envelope, let me see if I can... You don't really need to see the module anymore because it's the envelope that I'm going to play with.
What?
Okay, here we go. Just give me a sec. I just need to move this camera. I've lost my controls today. Let's go across to the envelope generator there so you can see. Actually, maybe if I zoom out a bit.
Rance, here's an idea. Have you ever tried feeding effects into the distortion?
I am in a way. I've got kind of two effects going into it. I've got ring mod going into it, which is there.
Because usually things like delay, reverb, flange, and all that stuff, when they go into the distortion, they become a completely different beast.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. That module won't stay here. That module will end up moving over to my effects area, and then I'll plumb it through so that I can send and return to it. All right, let's get...
Oh.
All right, so this is where we play around with the envelope. Right, this is very, very touchy. So I had to really back off the attenuator on that envelope, just going into the filter then. What we could do that would be interesting is, let's put another modulation source into that filter. Let's put maths in there. So what I've got is a cycle envelope happening. So that envelope is firing there, you can probably see it. So I could put a trigger in there that would sync it up. So there, that's what I was talking about with the envelope stuff. Do you see what I mean? It's a non-audio based thing that just really mucks around with that distortion stuff. So it's just really good fun. And you can, you know, you can almost get percussive type distortion sounds out of it. You probably don't even need a pitch going in there. You could probably just use a noise source and just use a filter and just muck around with envelopes. Cool. So, what did you think of that, Darren? Mutide.
Things.
Take a drink.
Yeah, mental. God, my camera looks a bit crap. Yeah, it's cool, but everyone's buying all this stuff and I can't.
Well, it was your birthday. So, by the way, happy birthday
Yeah,
for a couple of weeks ago.
A couple of weeks ago, yes. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone else who sent me all those nice, kind messages as well.
Yeah. So I guess, yeah. So what we were saying before is, you know, just noodling around with your stuff and just putting stuff through something else and through something else until you find something that you've never heard before, and then see if you can tame it somehow. Those little envelope generators too, they're really, really hard because, excuse me, you can see that I'm playing right at the bottom, like, where is it, up there? It's hard. I need something to poke. I can't get over there. Where's my little ruler thing gone? Have I put that? Yeah, I've got my little thing. Yeah.
I can read most of it.
Yeah, I know, but I've got my little ruler thing here. I can move stuff out of the way. So you can see, look how low down each of those pots are, and believe me when I tell you, you might think that decay is off. It's not. That decay is on, and that little amount like that makes a massive difference. So one of the things about the old Roland System 100M envelopes is they're very fine down the bottom, and that's why a lot of people did a little capacitor hack on them in the day, where you put a little capacitor in, and what it did is it made the potentiometers a lot more. So you kind of like had a fast and slow version of the envelopers. So in the Roland version, the 521 module, it has a slow and a fast switch on it, which has the capacitor hack on it. And on that feedback modules next to it, you can see another module called System X envelope. See that one there? That's actually a System 100 as well. And it's got the switch, and that switch is a fast and slow envelope generator. So it's basically exactly the same as that EG over here, except one of them, and it's got the fast and the slow in it. So if you are looking for something a bit more controllable, those would be my recommendations if you're in that realm. Right. Okay, how we going?
Like linear and logarithmic, something like that.
Oh, it's not because you've still got. Don't forget. So your attack, your decay, and your release will be your exponential, and your sustain will always be linear, right? Because it's an amplitude type thing. So System X stuff from what are they called? Frequency Central is the name of that company that makes that System X module. Frequency Central. They're based in the UK too, I think.
Rings a bell.
I've got a couple of their modules. They're pretty good. By the way, we don't use maths enough in this show, so I thought I'd bring maths in. Nothing like a re-triggering cycling envelope. So yeah, just to make that sound, we had the 2600 VCO, which is that new module that I showed. We had the Rachel ring mod. We had VCF from Behringer, the 121. We had VCA from Behringer, the 130. We had the envelope generator, which I was talking about just then, is the 140. And we obviously had Punk from Feedback modules. So yeah, Punk was the star of the show there, basically. And yeah, of course, it was basking in effects, but who cares? That's what we want to do. Okay.
Oh, that's a cool part of it.
We've got about 2 or 3 minutes to kill. So what I thought we'd do is maybe we'll do the greetings now. So Darren, you've been away for a couple of weeks. How's your weeks, plural, been? How's your birthday? How's everything else been?
Everything's been okay. I think everything's been just fine. A bit away. Hence the video last week. If you've seen that, everything's been okie dokie. Just anyone's following me on Bandcamp will know what's happening. But other than that, I
saw
fine.
the Bandcamp.
I think everything's fine.
Saw the Bandcamp thing. Yep.
Yeah. So other than that, it's just been just plodding on. I was gonna. That's. I think Jim's watching. Jim Glue and obviously Andy's obviously not so good. So, but I was gonna see them last night. But with working so early this morning, it was a bit of a rush to do. So I didn't get a chance to do that. So I hope they had a good night last night. And if they're up that way again, let me know. That's Jim if he's still on, unless he's too tired and he's chilling out.
Yeah,
he was on earlier. I'm sure he was. Yeah,
he was.
Jim was in the chat.
Yeah, let us know. Yeah.
So
and
I'm on your Bandcamp page now, and I think it's this button.
There won't be anything on it yet, I don't think.
So what I want to do though is I just want to show people the Bandcamp page, because one of the things you can do, because Darren isn't a big social media person, and it's not a stab at him or anything.
Not at the moment, no.
He's just not a big social media person. But one of the areas that if you want to keep up to date is obviously his YouTube channel, which I'll show in a sec. But also if you follow him on Bandcamp, he does send out messages about his music, and he does write a lot of stuff, as you can see there. So I'll show you a YouTube channel as well. YouTube channel, by the way, the link is in the description of this video. So you can check that out. If all is well, I should be able to find it quickly here. There it is. And there's his YouTube channel. Better not play that. I don't want to get a copyright strike. It's that
Jim is back.
So there's his YouTube channel. Okay. So subscribe to his YouTube channel. I'm not signed into YouTube on this computer, so that's why it doesn't say subscribe. But I am subscribed to him. You guys should be as well. There's definitely not enough subscribers there, people, for the amount of stuff that Darren does. He does some amazing videos, and he does some amazing music. And
they're all right videos. The last one was all right. I don't know if you managed to see that one, Rans. That was,
I have, yeah.
The place,
place called Home.
Yeah,
like the fish-eyed lens.
That's because
I can tell you right now, they're way better than mine. So they're awesome. Trust me.
Yeah, I mean, look, just doesn't cost you anything to subscribe to someone's YouTube channel or follow there on Bandcamp. You know what I mean? It's a free thing to do.
It's free to listen to, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well,
He
my
doesn't
albums are
charge.
free, so.
Yes. Right. Now, Eddie,
That's me.
how about your week? How's your week been since last week?
Exhausting.
Oh.
Yeah, work as usual. Just had a gig last night, and it got a little out of hand. And because I'm not used to, I'm such a lightweight. Everybody's gonna laugh their A-O. I just have a cider, and I feel almost hungovery.
Mm-hmm. You had a big night.
Yeah, and yeah, a little of computer dealing late night and troubleshooting, trying to get this mess in order. Apart from that, it's all good. It's all the same.
Fantastic. Any gear acquisitions in the week? No, that's all right. Did you manage to have a
Not this
play
week.
with? Did you have a play with Unify? Because I know you got Unify now. Have you had a play with that?
Yes, I did, and I'm loving it. It's okay. This is because my brain is fried. Okay, it's nothing to do with the software. The software is perfect. It's awesome. It works as a charm. No hiccups. No install instantly. It's a breeze. Every time I look into those VSTs and VST holders, I still can get my head around the complexity and the vast universe that opens in front of you of possibilities. So because my brain is fried, not because there's any problem with the software. The software
Yeah,
is
you just got to tail it
basically
back.
the sky's your limit. Yeah, the sky's your limit.
Yeah.
Is I go there and I go almost blank, like, oh my god, like a deer on the beam lights, like, what do I do now? What do I want? The only thing that I had a comment is not because the product needs it. It doesn't need it. It's way more than you would ever dream within that product. Is that because I have it, if I could also handle my external synths within Unify, whoa. And apparently they're working on it. They haven't disclosed when or if they are going to do it, because there's other products that can do that. Obviously, they cannot do what Unify can do, and that's my I would love to, but they're working on it, and that would be I could just die with that product forever. It's all I need.
Fantastic. Yeah, I mean, like Omnisphere has that hardware controller sort of integration, but if he can get it in, I mean, Omnisphere is like a massive spend compared to Unify. Unify is like,
I love Omnisphere.
yeah, but it's like, less than a quarter of the price, like way less than a quarter of the price. So if he could get that hardware integration in, what do you think, Eddie?
I mean, I'm already in it. I'm all for it. I'm just trying to check on what's the next library I will include into it. Which, by the way, I think a couple of days ago they included, for whoever is interested, the TX8102 library, so you can play all those presets.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's included. It's for free.
Okay, we're going to get Jim to come in. I've just messaged him the connection details, so he's going to join us. So we'll pop him into
the party.
Put Jim Boy on. Let me just get his layering in. Guest 2, bang. So Jim will come in there. Just give me a sec, I've got to fix up his title. All right, so Jim, once he's ready to come in, we are all ready and waiting. So it'll just depend on that. And in the meantime, what we're going to do is we are going to go straight into the main show. Now, I've already played the stinger for the main show, but I'm just going to do it again because it signifies that we're into the main show. just given Jim the wrong link. Just give me a sec. It's beta. All right, that'll help him if we give him the right link. All right, welcome to the main show. We have got an amazing amount of stuff ahead. As I mentioned earlier, for those people that watched the early show, they will know what that is. But just for you, if you just joined us, because there are probably about double the amount of people according to YouTube. So we're going to talk about NAMM. We've got a few things happening at NAMM. You guys, I'm sure, are aware of. We're going to be talking about some news, some funny stuff, and we've got a nice Name That Synth segment coming up, and some price watch as well. And then afterwards, who knows what could happen? We've got Jim coming on. We could chat to Jim, chat to Darren, chat to Eddie. You guys have got a whole bunch of cool guys here. But before we do anything, why don't we have a laugh? Yes, new knobless mixer has arrived on the market, and it makes DJs look 90% less like a self-absorbed, so-and-so. Helps you concentrate on actually mixing and prevents 100% of the pointless twiddling, which I have often commented about. I mean, I sort of wondered what this kind of, what's this about? So all they can do is this on this mixer. 250 pounds at your nearest joke shop. Moving right along. Jim's joined us, so we'll say good day to him in a sec. But Jim, you're more than welcome to test your audio out while we're going through this. There's the reference track, and there is your mixed track afterwards. Hopes and dreams, people.
That's my
life. Hopes and dreams.
That's mine.
Dearie mate.
That actually might even be a broken one of them.
That one, the one down the bottom, you can't even hear it. The cord's not even connected. Right. There are 3 types of people in this world. 1, this is a noise table. 2, this is a beer pong table. And 3, this is a church bake sale table. I could probably think of more than 3. Yeah. But the noise table is probably what we were assuming this would be used for, right? In some sort of
wondering what's the noise
factory.
table for.
Making, I don't know. You could sit on it.
That's
and,
cool.
Sit on it and pass wind, maybe. I don't know. Thanks, Jen, for that. And this one.
I had one.
Wife, I was going to buy this synth I saw at the garage sale, but $100 seemed like too much for one without keys. So I just left it there. We should have a show about, like, you know, what sort of garage sale purchases have we had, and you've yelled out, "Start the car! Start the car!" Because I'm sure there's been one or 2 of those in the past.
I got 2 of those.
Yeah. Jim, welcome to you, buddy.
Can you hear me?
Hello.
Yay.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, we can. You could probably come up a tad. You're a little bit quiet.
Okay. How's that? Any better?
Yeah, I think that's good. If anyone whinges in the chat, we can keep an eye on it.
Studio.
He's got the world's heaviest
everywhere.
flight case, is what I've heard.
Not anymore. Not anymore. I got a different case after nearly killing Andy Brooks with it. So.
That's good. That's good. You been all right, mate? Haven't seen you for a while. Obviously, we've seen you in chat. But...
Yeah. No, I've been good. Been just playing live lots. Thanks to this sort of electronic music open mic movement that discovered through Ian Cole, and then there's like loads of them going on all around the country. So I've been going to those, and really enjoying it. Shame you couldn't come last night, Darren. That would have been really cool to see.
Yeah, I know.
And meet you in person.
We usually go over that side quite a few times to meet some friends as well. And I was in work very early this morning, and I thought, I just can't quite do it, which is a bit of a shame actually. 'Cause I thought if it had been the day before, I went in work, so I could have come across.
Yeah.
It was tempting. It's tempting.
Shame.
Oh, well, it's good.
No,
And
it was a good night.
Next time you're in that area, I'll be popping over.
they're getting decent crowds, and I've heard too.
I want one.
Sorry, that just broke up.
I just said they're getting decent crowds in, from what I've heard.
Yeah, Yeah, the sort of, you get sort of 20 to 30 odd people, most of the time, and sometimes a few more. But yeah, no, it's good.
Is that in the
I was
audience
just
or
laughing at what
for
David
to play in?
said.
What did David say? Jim needs a fancy
Jim needs a
cutout
fancy
behind him.
cutout behind him.
That's his
Why?
room
That's
treatments. He's
nice
already
enough.
talked about this, people. That's his room treatments, so that he can rock on in there. Fantastic. Well,
I was fancying getting an infinite mirror behind.
yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah,
It's not a bad idea.
not bad at all.
You'll just freak everyone out. But I was going to ask. We did the 4 memes. Can we remember? I'll just quickly go over them again. Can we remember them? That's not it. Whoa.
Nope.
This is it. Why did that not show up? Okay, try it again. There we go. We had that one. Which is your favourite is the question. This one, the garage sale, the table, the mix track, or the mixer. Let us know in chat what's your favourite
I'm
is.
going
Go
for
with
the
the
mixer.
knobless mixer.
Knobless mixer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The jet touches too close to home.
Yeah.
Colour it gold and put Technics on the top.
It's still a fortune.
No, then it would be 500.
yeah.
Wagoo's
Technics, then it's 500.
Wagoo's after. I agree with Wagoo. Colossus definitely wins. I think. Yeah, definitely. I think that the meme could have been done a little bit better. Like we could have used the start the car joke. But yeah. But anyway,
Is it actually that big? Because it looks
Colossus.
huge.
They're massive. Yeah, they're huge. Yeah, you need a few blokes to lift that thing. Couple of burly blokes. All right. Why don't we?
Haven't they heard of surface mount?
Well, haven't you heard of wood?
I know. I'm just being facetious. I know. Sorry. Excuse me. Let's go.
All right. Let's do this. Let's do news.
Good.
Yes, and I am going to tell you all about this week because we didn't have anything really to tell you about last week. But isn't it awesome how we've got a new company making synths in the world? I think that it's got to be a good thing, people. Especially not Eurorack, right? Because there seems to be a dime and a dozen people making Eurorack because it's easier to make, I guess. This is actually a real synthesizer company called Melbourne Instruments. And yes, the synth that we saw last week is called the Nina. Who saw the video that Sonic State put up? Whoops, wrong one. This one.
Yeah, I did see that.
Yes, very good. So for the benefit of those who didn't, let me just tell everybody a little bit about it. It's a new synth company, as I said, from Australia, Melbourne Instruments. They unveiled their new synthesizer called the Nina. We showed them a leak of this last week on the show, as you might remember, and it was from Damien's YouTube channel called Tone Labs. However, now we've got to see the prototype at NAMM. And it hasn't even hit Saturday over there yet. So that was just for the media. I think the Friday was the media version show. So as you can see, there's a lot to show you in this. Unfortunately, we can't show you everything because it's still a prototype. But what I can tell you, it's a 12-voice polyphonic analog and digital hybrid synthesizer with analog oscillators and digital oscillators, as well as analog filter. And there's going to be, I think it's 24 dB, the filter, and the future implementation of FX will be put in there. That's guaranteed, the FX, I just haven't done it yet. It has one LFO and 2 EGs, but he did talk about in the video how the back end of this thing is a Raspberry Pi. In fact, there's actually kind of 4 different elements to this synth, and the Raspberry Pi is only one of them, which kind of handles the user interface and the patch management and things like that. So there's easily a way that they could add more LFO. So don't get your knickers in a twist about the one LFO, unless your name's Korg Prologue. Anyway, but most interesting are the motorized knobs, which are, funnily enough, they're actually from drone technology. Those little things that fly around and take pictures of naked women on beaches? Yeah, drones. These things can move your settings and provide instant visual feedback to the user. I don't have a drone. Additionally, the synth...
You did have one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it got confiscated. Additionally, the synth can merge between 2 patch states. God, we've got to be serious on this show. Come on, people.
Confiscated. He's playing it all out now.
Additionally, the synth can be merged between 2 different patch states. Routes down. There's there's the morph button on the bottom right-hand corner, which button, I should say, knob. And you probably saw it in the YouTube video when he moved that all of the sliders moved with it mechanically, which was a little thing to behold. On the back, it has a decent amount of connectivity. It does boast MIDI USB host support. So you can actually plug your USB keyboard controller into it, so you don't need to go through a computer or a DAW. It also has USB class compliant connectivity and MIDI DIN. There is a Kickstarter project which is about to kick off in about 4 to 8 weeks. On their website, you can register to get notified when they kickstart their Kickstarter.
I bet you have, haven't you, Ranz?
I have. And I think many people will jump on board that, to be honest. So, yeah, so far...
I do love those buttons.
Kind of interested.
The old computer button type BBC buttons, I like them. And like I say, I love the idea of that. When he was showing you and it flicking all the pots spinning to different positions for different presets is cool.
Yeah. Now, I'm going to do a muted version of this, just because I haven't got permission from these guys. But if we just kind of have a little talk whilst he's showing in the background this beautiful synth. We won't listen to it because I don't want to get a strike, but you can see the motorized. These not an animation. They actually do turn and...
and they're very quick as well, like I say, from the drones. So they literally... You can see why if you're playing live, you could switch between patch quite quickly and not have to... Well, it shows you there. And not have to sort of worry it.
What do you guys think? Who wants to go first? Darren, you want to keep talking?
Yeah, well, basically we're saying it. I think it's really good. Like I say, I think when they was telling you about it, they were explaining about the fact that they've waited quite a long time before they've been able to get the pots to be motorized as quick and accurate as they are now. Like I say, by using the drone motors, and it's just I think it just looks cool, and it says that that's the only thing. I think, was it the Moog Slim Fatty where it had the little LEDs all the way around the pot, so you could tell when you got a preset. Yeah, I thought that was a good idea and the best way around it at the time. But to have all your pots just literally instantly move to that position from that preset or what you've done, it's just cool, isn't it? It's great, and for playing live, I bet that's good and all. You don't have to look down. You don't need to see any LEDs or anything. You just know, hit that patch, boom. Even if it's a safe patch, all your pots have moved to exactly where you want. Great idea. I mean, it sounds good for what they played.
Yeah, definitely sounded good. Anyone else want to jump in and have a quick comment about the Nina?
Yeah, for me, I'm kind of like struggling to see really what the advantage is over endless encoders. Other than, I suppose, hitting the end stops could be,
I can answer that. I can answer that if you like.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. So they talked about this, and I actually kind of knew about this before as well. As we mentioned, the technology is from drones. The ability, they've got like a little motor in them that moves them around, but the actual encoder itself doesn't behave like a normal data encoder that you're used to, which probably would annoy you if you've actually thought about it. They usually are aliasy in their ways, right? They kind of step through values, or they have little rib marks on them, and you'll feel them click around, or some of them are just keep spinning around. You don't know where they start and they stop. So these are all the bad things about data encoders. So what these guys have done is they've got this data encoder that behaves more like the old-fashioned analog potentiometer, on your old vintage synth, and the fact that it's motorized in through the middle as well kind of is a nice thing. Whether it's going to last, whether it's going to break, nobody knows, but hopefully that explains to you what's the attraction to it. The fact that they behave like an analog knob, and they don't behave per se like an encoder. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I have the Softube Console 1 and fader, so that's kind of obviously got the endless encoders on that, and then obviously the motorized faders on the console one fader, which you can also use for doing other things like effects throws and stuff like that. So I don't know. I think I'm like a few other people of the opinion it might be better with sort of faders rather than knobs. I don't know. I mean, I can kind of, see. I can kind of see it. I'm just not too sure about, sort of how.
I think I get what you're on about the endless. You can just do that. I suppose you can. I think with the faders and the knobs, I think the reason is because if you did it with faders, it'd take quite a lot of to make it a lot bigger. I would have thought. I suppose with the way the knobs are, I suppose you can look down and see instantly where it's an endless knob, an endless an endless encoder. You're not really going to know unless it's on screen or anything. So I suppose that's another advantage to it as well. But I think it's good that they've
if you can
come up with
change
something new.
Yeah. Do you know if you can change like the linearity of how they behave? Because obviously, if they are encoders, then surely that's
so the whole
software thing.
The whole thing is programmed in Raspberry Pi. So I guess you could just write code that would either be an exponential or a linear type algorithm. That would I guess that would be part of that. I do want to jump to Eddie because he did have his hand up and he wants to have a comment about this.
Sorry. Yeah, it worked. Just one question and one remark. The question is because when we saw the first leak, and then I start following the usual channels, the first comment is, apart from, there's another thing that's is going to go wrong because you added more motors, you added mechanical stuff, will you stop it or break it or wear it often if you try to undo the movement, like it is trying to go from 5 to 7 and you want to put it back to 4 at the same time? And according to that video you just played, I think they sorted it by making it instant. So there's no way you can catch the rotary on movement.
Yeah, I'm sure you can stick your finger on it, though, when it's moved.
I mean, if you go on an ill mind trying to be mean and wait for it and then press the preset so you can move it, yes, of course you can. But I think they thought it very through by making that movement instant. It's right to the. There's no like some faders that would go like. No, it's like there. It's more like a needle. That way, you just wait a second and then you can modify if you need it. And the remark, because I don't know if my eyes deceive me in the video, seem like if you route modifiers from controls to controls, with one control, you will be modifying all of them at the same time. So you can see the whole patch morphing with just moving one rotary. That's what I think I saw in the video.
Yeah, the morph.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
It's really, really cool. And if it sounds good and the price is right, I mean, it's a winner.
Yeah. So as one of the guys in chat, Steve Elbow, said, when you do move the knobs with the morph knob, he says it down the bottom there, the morph knob does involve the knobs moving more slowly, so it's not more of instantaneous. Look, the way I understand it is these drone servos, they have some sort of collision thing in them. So like, for example, I don't know if you've ever played with drones and stuck your hand into one of the propellers on them, they stop. And then whether the software restarts itself or whether you have to shut it down or what, I don't know. But they have that collision sort of technology in those motors already. So whether this has got it in there, I don't know.
No, I'm assuming that because if those are the motors kind of to handle them, they kind of come with that software. And I think we had similar stuff, not completely right, but similar stuff with the technology that is moving your camera.
Yep.
Because that technology has a motor that is designed to go from A to B, but if for some reason can't do, it won't keep trying, it will stop or wait and reposition again. And and that technology, I was working on then on the 90s, late 90s. So think what can they do now?
Yeah.
So I'm sure that is not an issue with that synthesizer, not at all.
Yeah. Well, we've got.
I suppose it also makes it very, very clear to you can multi-knob a lot easier that way. You know, if you want a multi-function a knob, it's quite quick to flick through the functions and see exactly what it's set at without looking at a small screen. I think that'd be quite handy as well, wouldn't it? So they wanted to do that.
Yeah, I was going to say we can.
It's like
we
a
can ask,
VST on hardware.
We've got a few friends over in NAMM at the moment. We can ask to try some things out. So if you do have some things that you would like to know about the Nina, chuck in the chat, and I'll get guys like Andy, who's Synth Addict. He's there at the moment. He's talking to me. We've got Chris Synthient's there. Ken Flux with it. Pierce is there. We've Andrew Mee, who's an Australian, who's working for the MIDI organisation. He's there. These are all people that have been on this show. They're all chatting to me at the moment, so I can always message one of them to pop on over. Tomorrow's the main day anyway, so we'll see what happens. I will mention more about those knobs is that you obviously can modulate anything in the synth, but also you can modulate the stuff that's modulated with the knobs.
That's what I said.
So the whole thing is kind of like double modulated, if that makes sense. And with that morphing,
like a macro.
that can be modulated as well with CV. And they're saying that the Raspberry Pi in the back is hackable. So they haven't closed it off. It's not a closed. It's a I don't know if it's open source, but it's hackable. So we'll see what happens there.
Lucky you computer guys, IT people.
I don't usually get like. You'd think I would, but I've got so much to do in the IT world. I don't have a chance to do it. Some of the things I do, but yeah. Okay, so have a quick look at the chatties, seeing that there's no price yet. He did hint that it's going to be kind of around what you'd expect a reasonable quality desktop synth to be. So I would say you're kind of looking at the price of a Hydrasynth desktop. That would kind of be my guess.
Really?
That would be
when
my
it first
guess.
came out, or now, because they're a lot cheaper.
No, now. Or maybe when it first, I don't know. Look, that would be my guess. Maybe a sequential. I don't know, somewhere in between the two.
650 quid.
That would be my
more
guess.
towards 1,000.
But we could be wrong. Don't forget these things are.
I was thinking 2K.
Yeah. Steve's saying it's more expensive. Oh no, I'm just guessing. I wouldn't have a clue, by the way. I do not know anything. Right. We do have some somber news, so I do want to cross over to talk about our somber news, and that is the passing of Dave. We're a synth show, and it wouldn't be amiss without us talking about this. I know everyone else has been talking about it all week. Well, since the 2nd of June, anyway. Yeah, Vale Dave Smith. He's been on this planet for 72 years, and he's given us musicians a lot. And really, he hasn't been, he's not like he's a #1 record sales person himself, but the amount of influence this man has had in our lives as musicians is massive. You think about the fact that he is one of the founders and inventors of MIDI, and he's also made some of the best synthesizers in the world. I think he was one of the first to make a polyphonic analog MIDI controllable synthesizer, and all the things that he's done with the Prophet 5 and all the other Prophets that he made, and right up until his most recent synth that he made called the Take 5. So I don't think he was expecting to go, guys. He was due to speak at NAMM, so this is definitely a sudden passing. I thought I'd give you guys an opportunity to share some of your thoughts about it. Who'd like to go first?
Jim?
I mean, I heard the news on Thursday. I was already having a pretty terrible day on Thursday, and then looked at my phone and saw the news. Just like, no, this can't be happening. Not after everything else. It's such a shock because he just looked like a picture of health, really, and like he was just going to go on forever. And his recent collab with Tom Oberheim, and resurrecting, sort of the Oberheim brand is just, just such a wonderful thing. He was obviously just such a kind and generous and positive person. It's such a massive loss. Everything he's done for the technology and the community, and just brought some wonderful synthesizers into the world, and just wonderful sounds that people have made beautiful music with. And it's just such a sad loss. It really is.
Yeah.
Gutted.
Yeah, well said, Jim. About yourself, Darren,
Well said.
have you got some words to say about Dave?
I don't know that I can really add anything to it. I mean, it's sort of like, it's always unexpected because, like Jim says, he looked well. It's you just think he looked fine. He was great, and it looked like you were going to see this new, or he was going to be seeing this new venture going forward, and then just before NAMM, or it's like, I don't know. I can't really add words to it. Really, it's just very sad. But it's things like this that always seem to happen when it's least unexpected, and it's just a very sad time. Really, it'd have been great for him to see how things went, and yeah, I can't really add to it. It's just a sad time.
Indeed. About yourself, Eddie, some words?
The main word from me is basically thank you. I don't have, and I wish I will have, the luck of enjoying any of his creations apart from my equal parts beloved and hated MIDI. My delight of that connection, that five pinned in, that is giving me so much joy and grief on almost equal parts just because of my ignorance. Something so geniusly crafted that has withstood 50 years. Because yes, 2.0 is out, but it's not really out yet. They're still trying to have it done as well as they did 1.0. And just let me point out that I think Ranzee said that he's not a rock star. He's not been in thousands of million selling records. Like for instance, our last lost our master Vangelis did. But just keep this thought: his creations, his talent, has infused uncountable, innumerable albums, tracks, hit singles through the decades, non-stop. Even if it was with sequential, I think he did some work for even Korg, then back helping Mr. Obenheim, bringing his legend back. He's been always working for the little I know, which is nothing about the man. Just a little about the legend and his trail of success after success. Sadly, I'm a guitar player. My closest approach to him is that we play a song that is basically centric about a Prophet 5. It's a very silly 80s song called Kids in America. And that is the Prophet. It's the sound of ages. And thank you very much, Dave Smith, and rest in peace.
Yeah, very well said. A couple of people sort of asked me during the week, obviously later in the week. A lot of people were a bit worried to see what would happen with Sequential and the Synth brand. A lot of people seem to have forgotten that it was about a year ago that Focusrite, the company that owns Novation, they actually acquired Sequential synthesizers, and I wouldn't be surprised if Dave was putting in place, to future-proof his brand by enabling that company to continue on with it, because he knew that he wasn't immortal. He is immortal though, because of the products and technology that he's given us in that sense. So I believe if it was any company that would to take over Sequential, I think Focusrite is definitely up there with that that technology. With they've got a very big MIDI controller / synthesizer side with Novation stuff. If it wasn't going to be them, it would have been someone like Moog, and I think Moog were too big of a brand on their own for that to happen. So I think the Focusrite was probably the right place to go. So it'll live on. It'll live on, guys. We'll still see the profits, I think, made. I definitely feel that they have a duty now to keep making them because those things are going to be even more sought after now that he's gone. We're going to be able to enjoy the fruits of his many years that he's shared with us on this earth. So yeah, Vale Dave Smith, thanks for letting us say our bit, guys. Guys in the chat, if you want to say anything about Dave Smith, flag my name and I can mention it in the chat. It's good to write something that get it off your chest. Something that if you met the guy, if you love the guy, if you're like me, you don't even own a sequential synth. Which I was on the Kent stream the other day, and I was actually I was feeling guilty when I found out that he died, and I hadn't bought. I was close, but I never bought one, and the only reason why that happened was because it was just a money thing, and we can't all have the best things. You ever notice that a lot of his stuff was very high quality and it used to fetch a decent price too? So that's only the lucky get it. Okay, so we keep your comments coming in chat. Make sure you flag my name at Ranzee if you want to do it. There is a spare slot still if you want to jump on as the video chat. Just let me know in the chat if you want to join us. More than welcome to have you in. We shall continue on with news. We've got more. See you later, Dave. All the best, mate. Play your profits upstairs there where all the profits are. This one here from a company called Groove Synthesis. This is the third wave synth. We've been sort of snuck this peak before, haven't we? So this is not like a surprise, but it definitely is something that's been announced at NAMM. Now, when you look at this, you think, oh, this has got to be just a PPG wave clone, right? Surely this is the Waldorf PPG wave type clone. Well, it kind of is. It's definitely a nod and a pat in the back to the old 80s digital synth, wavetable synth, but it definitely isn't a clone, or it definitely isn't a reproduction of the original. Instead, it's actually a modern take on wavetable synthesis, and I'll tell you why in a sec. It offers a 24-voice, 4-part multi-timbral wavetable synthesizer with 3 oscillators per voice. There are a stack of user direct controls, as you can see on that user interface, with over 40 knobs and a whole range of buttons to give you that hands-on control. So that's something that we do love. The screen size is decent as well. Notice that, Darren, the screen size is a decent size. It's a massive synth, by the way, what you're looking at there. Just count the octaves and you'll work it out. With this, they've got this new technology called the Wave Maker. It's a sample-to-wave technology. It enables you to connect your audio via the rear input and create your own custom wavetables. Now, once you've done that, it can generate a 64-wave wavetable at a touch of a button, and it offers also a 96K waves via USB port, so you can import them that way. Each wavetable oscillator comes with its own 6-stage loopable wave envelope. And also innovative is this thing called a wave surfer knob, which allows you to sweep through the wavetables manually. And it also has a wave flow thing, which turns the wavetable smoothing on and off. So there's all these kind of new kind of technologies in this that will make it be more advanced and more up to date with today. Now, this is where I'm really interested. This synth contains warmness aplenty with the Dave Rossum designed 2140 analog low pass filter. And also it's got a second SEM style state variable filter, which has low pass, high pass, notch and band pass. And these filters are offered in series So the SEM being up first. So with that, you've got, the wavetable sort of digital world, warming it up with a nice analog filter. And then there's a whole bunch of effects on the other side. There's 2 effects per part, remembering there's 4 parts, so that means you could have up to 8 effects. Things like bucket brigade delays, stereo delays, tape, chorus, phasal flanges, and a whole bunch of different reverbs and things like that. Now, $3,795 is the price that they're saying at the moment. I think they said it's available now, if I remember rightly. Anyway, get some thoughts. Who wants to talk about the third wave? I was about to say 3D wave. Advanced wavetable synth. Anyone? Who's into wavetable synthesis? Jim.
You go, Ranzee.
No, I just talked. So Jim's fun. Go, Jim.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like an amazing design. They've really sort of seems like they've sat down and just thought, what's the most amazing waveable synth we can make, and especially combining with the analog filters, because some of the criticism of wavetables is about the sort of hard sort of digital sound that they can possibly have, which is part of their magic as well. But I think combining it with those filters is just going to be absolutely beautiful, and it looks gorgeous. I mean, the actual sort of design of it, I know it harks back to the PPG and it's very similar, but it just looks stunning. Yeah, nice big fonts used on that display as well for the programs, which is quite good for a live situation as well. So yeah, I think it's going to be a winner. Price wise, out of my league. I'm still sort of if I'm getting up anywhere near there, it'll be an OB6 before anything, but because that's where my heart lies. Thanks Dave Smith for that one. But it's out of my price range completely, but I think it's going to make people very, very happy. Those who can afford it, definitely.
Definitely. Who else wants to have a quick comment about the third wave? It's almost like the third rock from the sun, isn't it? The name. That's kind of what I was thinking. Third wave, third rock. It's got a bit of a spacey sort of name to it.
Cool.
I kind of.
Darren's muted.
Darren, you're muted.
Yes. And he's talking.
Take a drink.
Yeah, I forgot. I said I'd just second what Jim said, but on the video, didn't he have original PPG there as well? If I remember rightly. Just to the side of him.
I wouldn't know.
He did, yes.
Yeah, it's wavetable. I like wavetable stuff. So does Dave. Rave. So yeah, that just looks really nice, and it's a nice blue. You see, because I like that blue. Obviously, it's similar blue. To
you
that,
need another
so,
blue synth, I think.
I need another blue synth, but like Jim says, I think it's just a little bit out of my league. Getting up that high, which is a shame, but it's going to be built well and sound really good. And I like being able to do your own wavetable. Like you can in software synths. I think that's really cool. You always wanted something like that on hardware. So just have your synth. Yeah, great. It's a nice synth. Out my league, though, unfortunately.
Yeah. I'd be keen to see how real time that wave sample to wave technology is. Like, I could see some sort of, you could actually use that in a live performance where you've got your whole mix of your band going through that synth and then sample to wave, and then you're using that morphing thing where you're sort of scrolling through the waves of what you've just listened to, and then mixing that back in.
Riding the wave.
Riding the wave.
That'd be cool.
That's a very Brian Eno thing to do. That.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And then putting it through an analog filter. Oh yeah. Let's get the Kramer sounds going.
Sounds
right.
good.
We have got one more to look at, and that's if you're into Simon the Magpie, well, you might be into him even more because he's been doing a few sort of guitar pedal things. I don't know if you guys know this, but he does have a guitar pedal thing that he does, and this is his first crack at doing a synth, and this is called the Beehive. There's not a huge there's not a huge lot to tell you about this, but what I can tell you is it's a 7x7 grid with 42 oscillators. No filter, no other controls except 42 pitch knobs and 7 volume knobs. And the rear panel gives you a mono output for each row. So you've got your 6 rows, right? And then a main that sums up all of the 6 rows. So if you think about it, it's a drone synth, right? And you could stereo spread some of those outputs into, you know, different pan positions in your mix. So you don't have to just have it going through one channel. And all of those little pitch things.
It's very much like the 4MS ensemble thing, which is in a box desktop.
Yeah, it's a little 9-volt battery guitar pedal type thing. Yeah, not sure if Simon would let me play his video because I haven't asked him, but I can show you stuff while we talk about it. All of these videos.
Don't forget reverb on it, and everything's going to sound good. So,
well, it's a drone synth, so
and chorus.
Yeah,
and chorus, yes.
So let's have a little look at Simon talking about it. I'm not going to play any of the audios. If you're wondering who Simon is, that's who he is. I'm sure you guys would remember him. He makes these things himself. Okay, so if you do order one, they are around about 320 euros. Which they're at, you know, whatever it translates to for the Swedish currency. But yeah, do check out his video, which is linked in the blog article at the end of the show, which you guys all know about. Anyone want to have a comment? Who's seen it? Who has had a listen to it? Who's seen it? Anyone?
I haven't seen this one. The first time I've seen that.
No.
So this is not
that
a
looks
NAMM
really
release.
cool.
It's a good time to be releasing products when everyone's looking at products. Yeah.
It is NAMM related.
He's not at NAMM.
It's NAMM time.
Sitting in Sweden, and he's releasing stuff. Good on him. Good on him. I reckon it shows he's a creative guy. He's a very creative guy. I don't know if you guys have ever watched his stuff. He does a lot of circuit bending on his videos. And you know, you wouldn't know it by looking at him or talking to him. You just would not guess that. It's a bit like Sam, right? Look, Mum, no computer. You would not guess that if you were to meet Sam, you know, and have a coffee with him, you would not know his technical knowledge. If you know, he's similar. Those two have actually met at that Thomann, what was it called? Thomann reactor or something? A few years back. Synth reactor, yeah. So yeah.
That was cool.
Whoever wants a drone synth.
Yeah, the rolling incident got burnt in my brain. Yeah, it looks extremely cool, and I think it's extremely fairly priced, even more if it's built one by one. And if that's what the tool you're missing in your setup, go for it, because those aluminum cases are basically bulletproof. Just don't stomp on the pots, obviously, but it really looks very, very cool. A very mighty thing to have.
Indeed. Who's into droney stuff? Like just sort of weird, nothing controlled by MIDI.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really sort of make it. I do enjoy watching Oscar do his sort of drone stuff on various like bits of Electron gear. So yeah, I always find that quite soothing actually. Yeah, I mean this looks. I mean, 42 oscillators in that tiny space. I mean, Sam, look, Mum, no computer could have done with that for his 1,000 oscillator mega drone thing that he built. It would have been a bit smaller.
Maybe that's where the idea comes from.
Yeah, so I think so. Yeah, I imagine that's going to sound pretty amazing. Yeah, and get some really sort of textures and sort of you know, to sort of hear the beats, different frequencies and stuff could be really quite interesting. But yeah, I mean, that circuit bending stuff goes as well. I was going to mention there was a guy at the gig who performed using various bits of circuit bent gear, which I was just like bent stuff myself, and the thought of playing live with them, just you know, albums, you know, just the jeopardy of the stuff that can go wrong. Stuff did go wrong for him, and you know, stuff just silent, just didn't work. Restart, just sometimes these things just don't. So yeah, I just thought I'd mention
That's
that.
the nature of
Yeah,
life.
this looks good.
Yeah, I think what would be cool is if it had some sort of way to modulate those oscillators somehow, because otherwise you're just going to be. It's like using Volca pots, right? You're going to
Elastic bands.
yeah, or something, some way to get in there, like even just a CV connection or two. It'd be
But-
nice.
Yeah, but put that into your Eurorack. You have what 40 how many? Sorry, I lost it. More than 40 oscillators.
42 oscillators,
42 oscillators with groups of 6. You can make chords per row. So sky's the limit.
Yeah.
And I am very into drone music. And I didn't have the chance to start exploring in synthesizer world, but when I've done on guitar, and sadly, one of my obsessive instruments that probably one day I'll get one and torture everybody around with me is the bagpipe. I like that monotone, just making everything you do, because you can modulate, you can change key, just take the drone as a root, take the drone as a fifth, take the drone, use the harmony anywhere you want, and you can go many places. One of the plans I have in my head with my modular is try to find a way to get the slowest ever LFOs, so I can create a ever morphing chord. I want to have start with 4 drones, morphing pitch, not like jumping quantized, just morphing from like a band from one and creating different chords. But I'm talking about 30 seconds, 60 seconds to change half a tone type of stuff. Something that would evolve in 3 hours or 5 hours.
Yeah.
And that's one of the plans I will do as soon as I can.
Yeah. Yeah, well, maybe someone could circuit bend his Beehive. You never know. That's it's so clean and neat looking. It's almost dying for someone to circuit bend it. I don't know. If I have a spare 320 euros lying around, maybe I might get one. I'm not sure. But yeah. Cool. Darren, did you want to have a quick comment about the Beehive? And make sure you're not muted.
I think I did, didn't I?
Oh, you're good. You're good.
I did comment. I said it's yeah.
We can hear you.
Okay, I've just forgotten because I'm getting old. Right. Okay, that is the end of the news. I believe. It is. Yes. Hooray! We've reached the end of the news. But
I do like the West Pest.
What was your favourite bit of news this week? Obviously, one of them was sad, so we're not going to say that's our favourite. So you had the Nina, you had the third wave, and you had the Beehive. Any of those your favourite?
I would say the third wave.
Okay. Third wave?
Yeah.
It looks amazing.
The third wave, yeah.
Yep.
I have to say that
sadly,
Beehive
the
is...
West Pest.
It goes over my head, both in terms of what it does and how much does it cost. So I'm not there yet. I have no experience with wavetables. I've just I think I know the science behind it, what's the concept, but that's it. I've never had my hands on any of them, so sorry.
A few people are saying third wave. Mez303 says third wave. Homegrown says third wave. We knew about the third wave, but we didn't really know as much. I think this week we kind of know more about it with the video and the official release and everything. But yeah, we didn't really know anything about the Nina. It was kind of just that sneaked video. So yeah, good. Beautiful. All right, we are going to go and look at what is out there on the used market.
Oh yes.
And yes, you can smash your TV with a sledgehammer as well if you believe some of these prices are absolutely stupid. No, isn't that an old one? What's that doing up there?
Yes. It's been here before.
Oh my gosh.
I remember this one.
Yeah, hang on a
I
second.
made a comment. That's why.
We might need to refresh this.
But still.
Yeah, I think we need to refresh this. Let's see what happens when I click refresh.
Huge.
Oh, there we go. It's working now. Look at that. Beautiful. Let's start off with this one. Sequential Circuits Prophet 600. X Dirty Harry. Dirty Harry is not wrong there, that's for sure. Wow.
It just needs a quick polish. And clean.
Oh my goodness me. Now,
Jeez,
I
that's
don't
the
even
understatement of the
look. I
century.
don't even know if this Profit 600 is even worth that, even if
It'll
it was in
buff out.
good nick. Yeah,
Profound.
what a steal, says
Review. Blaster.
Broccoli.
Is this
Broccoli
for
says,
real?
"What a steal," and Dirty and
Yeah,
Hairy says,
indeed.
"Native VS." Yes, yeah, it's Dirty and Hairy indeed. What about this one? Another CS80. Now, someone mentioned on here that this one you could buy a house with that sort of money.
Okay.
Now, I don't know
stop.
if you could buy a house. Well, you probably could. Probably it'd be a pretty tiny little house in Australia for that sort of money, but in some sort of really lowly, remote sort of area, you'd probably be able to get one. A lot of countries in the world, you'd definitely be able to buy a house for that sort of money. This is Australian dollars, so halve it for pounds. What are you looking at? 175,000 pounds. Could you buy a house in England for 75,000 pounds? I think you're probably sort of over
Right.
100,000, aren't you?
Well, yes.
Don't think so.
I'm not saying you couldn't
can.
buy one for 75, but it'd be
places.
pretty run down, I suppose.
Yeah, they'd be
Yeah,
pretty
there is
average.
places, yeah.
Quite remote in some sort of unusual area. Yeah, similar.
Needing renovating, I would have thought.
CS80 or house? That's the question of the week.
CSAT. Next.
Yeah. Hang on.
Well, in its defense, we need to confess that looks brand spotting new. It's crazy how good it looks.
Now, I think if everything works well, we might be able to do this.
Chairs, 4 of them.
Yeah, I missed it.
180. He's dreaming.
Dad? 450.
But jousting sticks. Tell him he's dreaming.
Yes, tell him he's dreaming, that's for sure. That person with the CS80 is definitely dreaming. We should have a button on eBay that says, "You're dreaming." What about
You're dreaming,
Teenage Engineering OP1 Field? This has only just come out. You can buy these things brand new for less. And here's this someone from wherever they're from. Where are they from? I can't even read. They're from the UK, taking the P155. Joe Dariah. I think Joe Dariah. You're having a laugh, aren't you, mate? Who wants to get an OP1 Field for more than what you can buy them
Well,
for?
you say he's having a laugh unless someone buys it.
He's definitely having a laugh if someone buys it, isn't he?
Exactly.
Yeah.
What? And is it mounted on a board?
No, that's just a really bad background that he's taken the photo on. He's trying to, yeah. I think this listing's gone now, so I can bring it up if we want to look at it. There's other photos there. What about this one? This one's for Darren, Man MB33.
Holy smeg.
Mate, you've hit lotto.
Get it on eBay, Darren.
You've hit lotto.
I'm at the
Dust it off.
I can get
Make it shine.
flipping third wave.
You can get the third wave and
Or
the
two.
Nina and a Moog One and a house and yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What?
I didn't realise they were that good.
Yeah.
Like, whoa, it can't be. Right, mine's going up straight up.
So-
Then I'll buy another one at
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, if this happened in the 80s, I could blame something.
I
But
think they just passed out on their keyboard, like hit a load
Yeah.
of numbers.
Pass that on the number pad.
hopefully, they've definitely passed
Oh,
out.
that'll do.
There's definitely past some point of no return. But what?
Exactly.
I'm not sure.
Now, people in the chat,
think it just
they
went
used to,
like
people in the chat used to
We'll
always
see
say
if
to
they buy
me,
it at that
none of
price."
those prices are scams. Well, what about this week? Do I have any scam level pricing this week? Come on. Surely that last one is a scam. Surely.
That's
Surely.
definitely a scam.
Yes.
I tell you what, though, we'll all be crying if someone buys that.
No,
After that, you'll be all jumping out and
I
buying them for 100.
if somebody buys that at that price, stop the world. I'm jumping out. Really, because who is out there? Who is that people behind my walls? No, just no, please, count me out. Let me
Yeah.
I
out.
just sit man on top of my AM1X. I didn't realise it was worth so much.
I don't know, guys.
I have it in a glass
It's in the
case.
window. Yeah.
No, I'm just
No, it's gonna be
really,
this. Oh my God.
I'm really
Go
thinking
for it.
about this one. I
Yeah.
mean, this is sexy. This
Yeah.
is just.
It's what?
Anyway. Right.
Your lights are too bright. They're melting your brains.
They are. They are eating into the cancerous nodes of my brain. Look what the chatties are saying. They're all scams. It's
All of
Sasquatch.
them. Yes, 100%.
Kev Human, I live in the unmarked town next to Hull. That's fantastic. There's a top not born every minute, says homegrown. Beautiful. Hey, guess what we should do? We should do this segment. Brought to you by Plugin Guru. Yes, it is actually a segment that has a prize, and it is a real prize that's worth money. I am not kidding. This show does tend to try and get a little bit more than the train wreck that it is every week. But let me just quickly get up my blurb from Plugin Guru. I've completely missed the bird for that. Where did it go? I had my wording and everything ready. Where are we? 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 There it is.
There you go.
No, that's not it. What the hell happened? You know what? I'm gonna work this out in a second. I will do the Plugin Guru prize information in a sec. Why don't we, instead of me trying to find this blurb, why did it disappear off my screen? I am going to get the video lined up, which we will do now. Full screen. Okay. Wait. Now, I can tell you that this week, this video has not been done by someone.
Oh, it's not been done by you mean?
And then we're going to press this button. You've got 30 seconds to guess it.
Ooh. This is production value.
Okay, time is up. And whoever guessed after my chat message that said time is up, you are no longer allowed to guess. So all those entries that have come in after it, bad luck for you. Now, I wonder if anyone has guessed it. I wonder. What do you think, Eddie? Has anyone guessed it yet?
Yeah, but you just showed me one I didn't see. And why are you asking me? I didn't do this.
Oh, maybe you didn't. Okay, let's reveal it. Shall we reveal it? I think we should reveal it. There you go. It's a Yamaha DX11. Okay, DX11.
Oh.
Right, now, who
Okay.
said DX11 first? Let me go back.
I got one, but you showed me another one.
Brett Lemmings.
I'm thinking it's Brett, yeah.
I'm with you. After that, there came a couple more, but I think he was first.
Now, but unfortunately, Brett has already won, I believe.
The next
So
one.
this
This
the
does
next one in
become
the
a bit
line.
of a dilemma. So the next one in line would be Homegrown.
Yep.
Yeah.
So what do you think about that, chatties? Homegrown, would you guys agree with that? Homegrown is the first person that hasn't won. By the way, just keep playing, Brett, because it's always good fun. You still get to win the Guernsey of Pride, to wear that during the week.
Oh, yeah.
To say, I guessed it first,
That's
but
first.
Homegrown is the one that guessed it second who hasn't won. So Homegrown, send me your contact email and name,
We'll have got that.
and I will forward that on to Plugin Guru. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get up the information about the prize, which I've lost. Here we go. All right, so let me get the website up on this screen, and that way we can talk about it whilst we're looking at his website, and then it all looks very perfect. He's going to send me a video, by the way, that I can show.
Kev Human just said, I always say the X11 until this week. Damn.
All right, here we go. Over to here. So
You see, perseverance.
the prize is Unify, if you're wondering. It's a unique software plugin and a standalone application that can load all of your instruments, audio effects, and MIDI effects plugins into a single combination mode. And for those of you who are familiar with combination or multi-mode on hardware workstation type synthesizers, you'll understand this. You can easily layer multiples of plugins for incredible stacks and splits. You can actually combine up to 24 layers in a single patch, multi-processor savvy. So each layer is a different CPU thread for those who are into techs and IT things. One unique thing Unify does is load any existing patch into your current patch with a simple mouse click. So let's go to the Unify tab here while we're looking at that. And imagine playing Serum with another Serum patch, or adding another synth with that. And then you could add those in with a successive click, with over 80 plugins now in unified mode, meaning all the factory patches for Serum, June 3, WaveStation Native, and most of Cherry Audio plugins, including Blue Arp, and all of Yuhi synths, and many more, creating unique patches for your productions just became something really fun, and only Unify can do this. There is the retail price, $79. There's a little bit more that you get too, don't you, Eddie? What else do you get? You get Unify and...
I also... And two libraries, Noisebox and something about Heavens.
Yep.
I'll give you in a second, because I'm actually opening my Unify. And I got Noisebox and Cloud City version 1. That's what what came bundled. They're really, really pretty, and as I said, the only bad side of this product is me. It's really
You're not bad.
No, trust me, it's way beyond my brain power. It can do. It can. I mean, to me, and put in layman terms, it can even multi instance. Halion Sonic, which from Cubase. Anything, any plugin in your system will become a layer. And if you can split it or address it or map it, it's for you to enjoy.
Yeah, fantastic. So Homegrown, if you
awesome.
if you haven't done that yet, make sure you flick me an email with your name and your email address, and then I'll forward that on to Plugin Guru, and they'll be in touch. It does take him a couple of weeks, maybe a bit quicker, I'm not sure yet. But Brett in chat's already won, so he knows what it's all about. Beautiful. And also bragging rights to Brett. So well done, mate, on guessing the DX11. And if you did wonder who that was, it was done by this bloke here down below. Yeah. By the way, too, I should mention, before we go any further, if you actually want to send in a video for name that synth, please do so. It's actually a really easy thing to do. There is just about a minute that you have to do a recording for. You don't have to worry too much about the visuals. It's more about the audio. Make sure you don't record anything external with it. It's just coming out the back of the synth, so you can't process it with compression or effects, anything. If the synth has effects, no problem. Anything that synth can generate. Send that in and keep it all quiet. Don't tell it, don't list it on your YouTube channel, don't tell anyone about it, just keep it between you and me. And then if no one guesses it, you will win the Unify prize for the week too. So there you go, it's a bit of incentive for you. So that's got a few people thinking, hasn't it? That's exactly what happened to Eddie. That's what happened with Eddie.
Yep, I did. And in fact, I won with not the hardest one I've ever done. It's like, I can't win. The week I do it easy for everybody to guess, nobody does. The week I try hard as hell, like this week, so nobody can guess it, 3 people knew about it.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm doomed. Only just one disclosure. I don't know why it sounded really weird when you played it.
That was your YouTube video. Sounded all right to me.
I played it to double check. I played it from, and if it feel like, because I put instruments in both sides, feel like left and right were out of sync.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you might have. Look, the essence of the DX11 was in the audio. There wasn't like you would distort. It was distorted or anything. I know what you're saying.
How do you dare? It's the best synth ever.
Who said anything bad about it? I've got a DX7. Yes.
You got the one, yeah.
Got the DX7 2.
I'm in love with my 11.
The DX7 2.
I'm really, really in love. I'm loving it.
There we go.
And just be aware, because it sounds so bad. I had another concept of doing music, but then I realized the only flaw of that synth is, yes, it's 8 parts multitimbral, but it's 8-note polyphony. So that's why it sounds like a video game, because it's exactly the same way of making music.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not going to rubbish any of the Yamaha stuff, but the DX11 was kind of always given a bit of a bad rap, because they used to kind of say it was the poor man's DX7, and all these sort of comments that you people hear. But I don't know. I don't know if I agree with those comments.
You won't take it from my cold hands.
Yeah, I've actually...
Bring it on. You don't want it? Bring it on. I need 16 voices.
But I have, and I'm sure some of you have also probably touched one over the many, many years that they've been around for. But one of the good things about it, they actually filled a really big need at the time. So if you cast yourselves back to probably early to mid 90s, probably around the probably around 93, 94, somewhere around there, where there wasn't really a lot of synthesis happening inside your computer, but you did have a computer. Most people had a computer. It was like very early days of IBM clones, or you might have had an Atari ST or something like that. And those sort of synths that had the multi-timbral sound in them and that were controlled easily by MIDI, they were actually really, really big in those days, because you were able to multi-track them and you were able to do it in your DAW, early days of DAW, like Cakewalk or Steinberg and Cubase and those sort of things, right? So that was the sort of thing. Now, I didn't have a DX11. I had a Roland XP10, which is probably no different if you were to compare the DX11 to the DX7 versus the... the XP10 to what Darren's got behind him, which is an XP50, which is the bigger brother of it. And I mean, mine was a Rompler, but I still got it, and it still works. It's a great synth, yeah.
Now that you mentioned early 90s, Rompler Attack, everybody was sampling the heck out of them. I'm sorry, I'm so in love with this thing. When I can hear it with my own ears in my own system, some sounds are as good to play with as the ones in my Trinity. no samples in it. The synthesis in this thing, I mean, some flutes, some the harpsichord, some brass, some saxophones or the oboe.
They're suited to FM.
I need to keep reminding me that it's not a sample, and then I go like, wow.
Yeah.
Really, I love it.
Well, what are you going to do? The next Name That Synth is the next question. I'm not talking to you, Eddie. I'm talking to you, as in you people watching out there. What are you going to do? What are you going to put in? What are you going to do to trick us all? That's the question. Jim, it's your brain spinning right now. You're thinking, what could I do to trick these guys? What could I do?
Possibly nothing.
Come on.
Darren's done one.
I'm sure you have something.
Darren's was pretty good. I think
done
most.
two.
Yeah,
you've done two. Yeah, you've done two.
You
have.
His $24,000 synth. I got that one.
Yeah.
That was before we had prizes.
That's rare. Nobody knows about it.
Prizes are not retrospective.
24.
Come on, Jim. You can do one, please.
Darren, put it in cotton wool, mate.
Yeah, I'll look into it.
Put it in cotton wool right now.
I've got a lot here.
And don't tell the wife.
That is going to be in the case, that sealed.
Yeah.
Don't let Dave near it.
Away from the sun.
Hey,
don't let it discolor.
Was that 24,000 with the actual the wall walk with it? Oh, do you have to get?
I hope so.
Don't hope.
Is that the
I
extra,
bought some stuff
extra?
with.
Yeah.
I bought some stuff.
We've got some bragging people in the chat room.
Power supplies.
Brock Lee saying he's got something that no one will guess. Whoa. Okay. Put your money where your mouth
Bring
is.
it on.
Yeah. Send it through. You've got
It's
a whole
very
week
nice prize to win.
to record a 1-minute video. Yep.
Honestly,
video.
he might not have guessed it because he might not even know what it is himself.
Now that would hurt my brain.
Sorry, Wagyu, what's that? That's why I shifted from 7 to 11.
Wagyu loves
it didn't sound good
Wagyu
enough?
loves the 11.
He shifted his guess from 7 to 11.
But you do have one, right?
That's what it means.
He's saying it didn't sound good enough to be a DX7. That's what he's saying. He's giving you a compliment. He's
Thank you. But yes, I mean, as I said, you're gonna have to take it from my cold dead hands. That one's going nowhere. I love it. Plus, I love all the doorbell sounds. It's like they're in me. That's what I hear whenever I plug the music off. They're still in me. The ding 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 ding. And it's because of the harmonics. It's a little bit what we mentioned the last show about harp is what it comes after the attack. It's not a flat symmetrical wave. It's like multiplying into fractals in my brain.
Yep.
It's that complexity that I love.
Now, just before you go on, I just wanted to quickly mention that Homegrown's contact details have been sent through, and I've got them already. So he can rest easy knowing that I've got them, and I'll be sure to forward those on to Plugin Guru.
You're gonna love it.
Beautiful, fantastic. All right, I do want to do. I'd love to do a hardware prize, like once a year or once every 6 months or something. So I'd love to get some sort of hardware sponsor on the show to.
Well, you've got plenty of hardware there in your studio, Ranz, that obviously you don't want.
So do you, Darren. You could give something away.
You read my mind.
Just be careful.
That way you can clear space.
Throwing stones in glass houses.
Oh yeah.
Well, you can
Should
always
have
have
a roulette
the.
wheel of gear on it, and then just like pick a module
There's an instrument you can have.
to be a
I
prize.
should see what it makes you
You
do.
got another one, right?
Yeah.
The yellow thing were you pointing at, or the tube thing? I can't work out what you're pointing at.
The tube thing.
Oh, okay.
The
I really
purple
don't
thing.
want to
I'm
know.
gonna get a big stick with a hand on it, so-
After some of the comments in chat, I don't know if I want to know what's in that tube.
Oh, another question. Sorry, Steve Powell, does DX11 have onboard effects? No, but Yebanuba, it does have MIDI effects, but not conventional effects. And the problem is the MIDI effects eat away the polyphony. So sparely and be aware of it.
Yeah, there's that
And
delay
remember,
thing,
it's
isn't
not
there?
for
There's that delay thing that
and
it
I
does.
think something reverb-ish by stretching weirdly the decay of the notes,
Yeah.
of the waves.
The delay
So
thing
it
is actually
sounds
pretty good,
like-
though. You should try it.
Yeah.
I don't know, if you've got a DX11 and you haven't tried that delay thing, it's actually pretty good. It does use up an extra voice, but it's pretty good. Because what it does
or
is
three,
it,
because it
it
repeats
repeats
another note.
It repeats the note, but it
Yeah.
knocks the volume down each step. So
But
it's like,
still is a note in the polyphony. Remember, only
you got
8.
8. You got
But
8. What do you want?
trick, I want 16. Thankfully, I can link them with my FBO one, so now I have 16. Sorry, no, 24. No, the trick I found it's cheesy as hell, but I kind of love it. Is you can change the sound on each press of the key. So you can make a sequence of, I don't know, flute, piano, harp, drum.
Yep.
Each time you press the same key, it will just roll to the next one.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
I
a
think it's
program
cool.
change. Program change thing. Yeah, it's good. Yeah. A few synths have got that. The most recent one that we were like doing goo goo gaga over was when Base Station 2 brought out this thing called the Aphex Twin mode on it, or Aphex mode, and it's basically exactly that, where you every single key on the tiny little keyboard on the Base Station 2 is actually a different patch. And you can have a lot of fun with that sort of thing. The only drawback with it, though, is that if you're playing fast and you choose patches that have got long tails or slow releases or anything like that, it will just cut off because it's a mono synth, right?
I get you.
So,
Yeah.
but it's good for percussive sounds.
Yeah, because it's still synthesis, still needs to retrigger.
Yeah.
It's not. Sorry, I still can get my head around. There's no samples in that thing. It's really, really realistic for the time and for the technology. It's crazy.
Well, I mean, FM is actually a really, sensational thing.
Really powerful.
And the only thing that went wrong with
Timberwolf
FM,
giveaway.
the only thing that went wrong with FM was they made it hard for people to learn how to program. So it got a bad rap.
Away.
Give the Timberwolf away. Who said that?
That was Aaron.
Kev Human.
Darren.
Okay. Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, how to program. I don't think it was harder to learn to program a DX7 than it would be to program anything that came later of my JB1080, because that takes a steep learning curve, even with a big screen and the multi-layer and the multi-voices and all the big rumblers. What they really did a big misfavor was the interface. And don't get me wrong, I can be more in love with the interface on the DX because it's kind of basically you got all keys silk screen with different colors. So each color is a function that key will do when you open the menu. So you got menu open, go to the function, change the value. So it's kind of easy on the surface. Obviously, going down to the operator level, that's what it breaks my brain because it's too much math. I'm not used to it. But if you start with it, and I'm missing Mr. Dr. Synth in the chat to back me up, is you can go way further having a basic grasp of FM that you could go without as any typical subtractive, no matter how many oscillators you put into it, because sounds actually morph, they create, they don't just change or get modified. You're creating harmonics. It's really crazy shit. Sadly, I'm not smart enough to do it, but someday, before I die, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. I'm just going to bring up a photo of the DX11.
Or you can go back to the video and pause it in the last second.
Yeah, the photo you can zoom in if we need to.
Oh, yes. As I said, that battle of the ships scheme of things, because you can see, first of all, you can see the white layer underneath the bottom row. That is for your master parameters, right? So you go to utility on the top right of the screen. You press utility, then all those white parameters is what you're accessing straight to it. And things like, for instance, on the MIDI, it says MIDI channel info 18. You go utility 18, and just by pressing repeatedly 18, you get scrolling through all the parameters you can modify on the 11 about MIDI, like program change, channel receive, split, MIDI split, or whatever. But if you go for on the bottom row where it says edit, then the green meaning of the same keys is the ones you are applying.
It's very similar to the DX7 too.
Yeah.
It's very similar. There's a few things that are different, but it's very similar. Yeah. All right, cool.
It's just smaller, lighter.
Yeah, cool. Right, we have got people talking to me. I've got a dash too, Mr. Sasquatch. That's what I'm going to be saying as well for everyone. We're going to wrap the show up because we'd almost hit the 2.5 hour mark, and everyone has lives and synths to go and play with, and family and stuff like that. So before we go, I do want to mention to everyone, please do support the show the best you can by sharing it and letting everyone know. But also, I would like to actually tell people that these people need to be thanked as well. These are my patrons. Huge list there. Channel members. And also we have Plugin Guru to thank as well. So there you go. So a big thank you to those people for being part of the show in any way you can. Otherwise, you can be part of the show as, like I said, you can send videos in, you can even just click the thumbs up, even if that's all you're able to do. That would be much appreciated. Thank you to Jim and Eddie for coming on at the last minute. Much appreciated, you two, for coming on. We always enjoy your company. And Darren, thanks for finally coming back. We thought you were missing in action. I hope you're able to come back next week. Anyway, anyone want to say some parting comments before we hit the magic end screen titles?
Yeah, I'd like to say, get well soon.
Just
Andy.
keep your eyes open, that's all I say.
Get well soon to Brooksy, yep.
Oh, yeah?
Beautiful.
And,
I missed that.
and a quick hello to Steve Ward, who I actually met at a gig in Stoke. He's an avid watcher of the show and a supporter of yours, Rans.
Steve's a good bloke.
It's good to meet him.
Awesome.
I want to see it open mic.
Yeah. Enjoy the rest of your
have to
weekend,
create
everyone. And I always say, press record. Don't forget. And on that note, bye. See ya.
Hurrah.
Bye.
Ta-da.